What about the online influence? How do we measure the influence of what we're doing online, of what bloggers are doing, of any kind of people are doing? And I'm sure you know this brand because they're kind of doing kind of standard for online influence. The company is Clout. And so we're going to have a conversation between Joe Fernandez, who's the founder and CEO of Clout, and Nicolas Rauline, journalist at Les Echos.
Hi, Joe. How are you?
Great, great. Thank you.
How was LeWeb this year? It was your first time, I think.
Yeah, first time LeWeb' Paris, and very, very exciting. And it's an amazing conference.
Okay, well, just before beginning, who knows about Klout in this room? Okay, and who knows about his Klout score? Okay, well. Are you surprised by this?
It's always amazing to me. People know about Clout outside of our office. So I still take it as it's so hard for a startup to break through and get people to care about what you're doing. So anytime people know about Clout, it still means a lot to me and the team.
Okay, can we talk a little bit about how you created Clout? How did you get the idea, for example?
Yeah, sure. So it was actually kind of a weird situation. In late 2007, I had jaw surgery, and my jaw was wired shut for about 3 months. So during that time, I couldn't speak at all, and even my mom, when she would try to talk to me, couldn't understand anything I would say. So I really had to rely on social media to communicate. And this is late 2007, early 2008. So it was early for these platforms. Certainly for Twitter, not a lot of people on there. But as I used them and had to depend on them, it really changed the way I thought about where the world was going. It was really amazing to me that the people who trusted me the most, I could share my opinion with them instantly from my phone, and it would have some sort of impact. And what they were saying was having an impact on me. So it was this notion that word of mouth was scalable for the first time, and influence was being democratized. And I got really obsessed with that idea and wanted to measure it. I figured, broadcast media was measured, newspapers measured, TV's measured, everything's measured. People were now broadcasters. They had audiences. Those audiences were engaged and cared about what they were saying, and I wanted to provide a way to understand that. So Clout started it in early 2008, so it's been over 5 years.
Okay. I must confess that at the beginning, I thought it was just a question of ego. How can you convince me it's not just a matter of ego?
Yeah, I mean, people know the Clout score, as we kind of talked about earlier here, and this 1 to 100 score ends up being very egocentric, just not out of design, just out of kind of, I guess, reality. And the score has been, I often say, our best asset and our worst enemy. It's it's been great because everybody knows the score. It's easy to digest. You can compare. You can do business, you can benchmark yourself, whatever you need to do, the score is helpful. But it becomes this ego novelty. And I think it betrays the value of what's below the surface. We process about 15 billion pieces of data every day to come up with that score. And we're looking at all the content you create and trying to understand what that's about and the impact it's having on your network. We look at all the relationships you have. We look at all the networks you're active on. We look at how people search for you on Bing. We look at Wikipedia. We look at all these different sources to come up with this score that drives your ego. But sometimes it betrays the value of everything that's below the water. And what I'm really excited about as we continue to evolve the product is surfacing more of that context and evolving out of this egocentric tool to something that can really help you be a better content creator, help you from a brand perspective, connect more effectively with your most influential customers and prospects. So I get why people kind of think of it as, at first glance, a simple ego toy, but there is a lot more there.
Okay, and it works with every social networks, right? You use Twitter, of course, but there are
we work on, pardon me, 15 different social networks. So constantly adding new networks. We're in the process of adding Tumblr right now, Pinterest, as they just released their first APIs, obviously very exciting to us. We love seeing new social networks emerge, and thankfully you see that a couple times a year. Every year there's one or two breakout social networks, and we want to add those to our service. Every day more people come online. Those people are on new networks, doing new behaviors, so we have to keep evolving to service that.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about your business model.
So I think the important thing is we consider ourselves a consumer company. We approach everything as through the lens of how do we help the influencer, how do we help them be more effective on social media, and how do we help them be recognized by brands. So when we work with brands, we don't believe in just selling data. We don't believe in just selling a list of influencers to a brand. We want to help build relationships, and we let the influencer control if they want to be a part of that relationship. But brands pay us for that connection. They pay us to be able to engage with these influencers. We have a product called Clout Perks, which is typically around product launches. When a brand is rolling out a new product, they want to put it into the hands of these influencers. They want to, they need certain people talking about it. So we know, for instance, Orange here in France is a huge customer, and they've been rolling out 4G and LTE. So they want people who are influential about technology. They want people influential about social media, design, gaming, all these topics that are relevant to their brand. We'll connect them to the most influential people in the geography that's relevant to them and give those people a great experience, and then hopefully those people create social media content. We don't ever say you have to. We're actually very clear to enable the user to do what they think is best. We say you can say anything you want. You can say you love it, you can say you hate it, you can say nothing. But we know these are the most passionate people online, and if you give them great experiences, they're going to create earned media for your brand. And that's incredibly powerful to advertisers. It's so hard to get attention. We see about 5,000 advertisements per day, and I don't know about you, but for me at least, I don't remember any of them. I don't pay attention. I'm blind to it all. But to be able to get into the stream from people you trust, people you admire, people who are relevant to whatever the topic might be, and have those people tell your brand story is really the only way to have impact. That's how I tend to get what movies I see, what music I listen to is from friends, and we're able to connect brands to those people that are driving those conversations.
So it's about connecting people and advising brands. Right.
Yeah, it's really about enabling people to be better content creators, giving them the tools to benchmark themselves and improve, and then letting them connect with brands that they're most passionate about, they're most interested in, and for brands, generating earned media. Really, I think there was recently a study by Adobe that earned media is 4x more impactful than any other type of paid media. So, enabling brands to do that programmatically at scale is something that we take a lot of pride in. For the first half of this year, we generated, our Clout influencers generated over 4 million pieces of earned media for brands, and that drove 13 billion impressions. And these are trusted influencers, trusted connections, sharing their real experiences and having conversations with their network about these products and these services.
Okay, can you give us some examples of brands that are working with you?
Yeah, we've been really fortunate. of the ad age 100, about half of them work with Clout. So we work with everyone from Nike to Disney to P&G to Orange here in France. Some of the cool examples are, I talked about Orange, and as they've been rolling out their 4G service, that's been hugely successful, and they've been an incredible team to work with. Some of the other ones, Chevy in the US, the car company, is a big partner of ours. As they've been launching new cars, they have a car called the Volt, which is an electric car. Most people haven't experienced a fully electric car that you plug in your garage, so they've been looking for people influential about not just cars, but climate change, things relevant to their brands. And we've been reaching out to those influencers and giving them test drives of those cars. So somebody from Chevy brings the car to your house, you have it for 3 or 4 days, and you get to just experience it. And what ends up happening is tons of social media content gets created. People take the Instagram picture of the car in their driveway, they're tweeting about it, they're doing YouTube videos of themselves driving it, and these great conversations emerge where their network asks them, like, how long does it take to charge, and how long does the battery last, and how's the acceleration? And you just don't get that trusted conversation in other forms of advertising. We work with a lot of the movie studios, we work with tons of consumer electronics companies, but it's really all about helping brands connect to the right people at the right time.
Okay, and I think you're about to launch a new product for brands and for professionals.
Yeah, we are. We're in alpha test right now with about 10 brands on the next version of Clout, for businesses. In terms of Perks is great. It's really great for events, really great for product launches, but the feedback we've been getting is, wow, this is amazing. I wish I could maintain this relationship with influencers over time. I wish I could generate earned media on an ongoing programmatic basis. So the product we're rolling out, and unfortunately I can't give too many details, but it's really all about making it super easy for brands to generate earned media from relevant influencers without having to send out a perk, without having it to be a product launch, without having it to be an event. And we're testing right now with Xbox, we're testing with Levi's, we're testing with a bunch of tier 1 companies and looking to roll it out in January.
Okay.
It'll be more of and it'll also, where Perks is very campaign centric, this will be more of a SaaS model and an always on service for brands.
And what about pricing?
Still working on that. I mean, we're less worried about pricing right now than we are just getting the service right. And we're in alpha. We're getting great feedback. But what brands in terms of Perks have seen is from a eCPM basis, the only way to get into people's streams is Twitter or Facebook right now. And what you pay on those services for whether it's a promoted tweet or a sponsored story is actually pretty expensive, and by using Clout and connecting directly to the best content creators and enabling them to create content, you can drive that CPM way, way down. So we're playing with the models, but we've prided ourselves on being a cost-effective solution to get into the stream, and we'll be leveraging that going forward.
Well, the topics of the conference is the next 10 years. How do you see the evolution of influence measurement in the future?
Well, I think the mega trend is more people creating more content that's more accessible every single day. And I don't see that slowing down over the next 10 years. And I think the big shift is people are recognizing that the content they create is, it really all comes together as any individual's, I don't know what the right word is, but it's like online persona, our personal brand, and those are all kind of lame words, but it actually matters. Where for every university you apply to, dating site you join, job you have, friends you meet, they're going to come look for you on social media, and it's important for you to look interesting, smart, funny, whatever, to look like you are more than to kind of construct this online persona. And I think that's going to increase over time. And I think even when you see Snapchat and things like that exploding, it's because people realize that what they show on Facebook and Twitter is important and it matters. And I think there's a lot of question of, is Facebook going to deteriorate at the benefit of Snapchat and things like that? But I think what's going to happen is people are just going to be smarter, more strategic about what they post on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, whatever network, and really care more about their persona online.
Okay, thank you very much. Just a last question. What's your personal Clout score?
Today, or last night at least, I was a 74. I haven't got the chance to check this morning, so
you check
so
every
around
day.
there, yeah. Hopefully after the speech it hasn't gone down, but yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.